Hello, I'm Michael Houston, CEO, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Terry Houston, who is the founder of Houston Consulting Group and Associates. And we welcome you to our Business Empowerment Series today. And we have a very special edition today, a guest who we're just excited to talk with. But before we get started, we want to first invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube at Business Empowerment Series by HCG and Associates. Okay, so when you find us, be sure to click on the notification bell right away so you can be notified of our upcoming editions as they're posted. This edition will be on there, and we have several past editions. We've had some wonderful guests that will surely empower and inspire you, so be sure to listen to them. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and get started. We're really excited. This young man here we have today, he is out of Richmond, Virginia, and he is none other than Dantrail White, Realtor with eXp Realty, actually one of our agent partners, just a phenomenal agent. He's actually an eXp capping agent as well, doing some phenomenal things, but we're definitely gonna be talking with him today, and we're so glad to have him on board. Dantrail, how you doing today?
All is well, sir. I can't complain. I'm happy to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
Oh man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. Look forward to talking with you today.
Absolutely, Dantrail. We are excited. We've been wanting to sit down with you because we see all that you're doing. You're doing just so much, so many great things, and we're just so proud to be in partnership with you. I mean, you're a very young man. You're only 30, a very young man,
right.
And just to see all your accomplishments in such a short time. I mean, you're a family man, a husband, you have children. I know you're very active in your church, so you're just definitely a great example to young people out here and to us old people.
Yes, I know that's right. We learn from everybody.
Exactly. So we're just excited. So we just want to jump right in because we know a little bit about the story. You were sharing it with us, just prior to the recording, and I was just amazed at how you got your start. So you've been with eXp for 1 year.
I've been with eXp for 2 years now.
Oh, 2 years now.
Okay,
2 years. Okay.
You've been with eXp for 2 years. And so that's at the point where you became a full-time agent.
Hold on, let me think back. So I came on with eXp. Actually, it has been 1 year. I came on with eXp last April.
Okay, so you're going into 2 years.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Time flies when you're having fun.
You got that right.
Okay. So you've been with eXp for going on 2 years, but you've only been a realtor altogether for 4 years.
That's correct.
But you've been full-time for a full 2 years.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And prior to that, what I understand about Dantrail, just amazing, you were a dual career realtor.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And so you were doing that, and you told us the story about when you transitioned to full-time. I mean, we've only known you, at eXp as a full-time agent, and we see how you are doing just great things.
Absolutely.
But one thing you shared, and I want you to share this with our audience, is that you got your start as an adult, a working adult, at the age of 18 in the banking industry.
That's
so
correct.
Tell us about tell us a little bit about your background.
That's correct. So I graduated from high school back in 2006, June of 2006. I literally applied for a job at a bank that next week. I knew that I didn't really want to go to college. At that point, we had crazy things going on in the world with the war around that time in Iraq. So I knew the military wasn't an option for me. And I was just kind of looking for direction. So I applied for a job at a bank. And a month later, I was hired at 18 years old, and I was off to the races.
Oh my goodness, wow. 18, yep. Working for a bank, a young man. So tell me what that was like. I mean, did your family come from the banking industry?
Not at all, not at all. I come from, for the most part, a single parent household. My mom, she worked in the restaurant industry, I guess you can say. I remember times her working at all type of pizza places and trying to have 2 or 3 jobs to really maintain for my brother and I, that sort of thing. So my family really had no banking industry, no banking experience. Really no, as it relates to the financial literacy piece, I was really, I guess, kind of the savior in that space.
Mhm.
I got lucky enough to get a job at a bank and learn quite a bit about credit, how to manage finances, what to do and what not to do, in which I was very fortunate, because if I didn't have that start, then I'm not sure where I would be today.
Mm.
Wow, wow.
That's a great
That really
story.
is.
And it's so important. And now, fast forward, several years later, now you are a realtor helping other people understand credit and managing their finances. And what other skills that acquire while working in the banking industry that you're now using now?
Right, absolutely. Like I'll, I'm always giving people advice relative to credit and getting where they need to be as it relates to getting qualified for a mortgage. And I
Mhm.
can really say that my experience within the banking industry and working in customer service, because I actually worked in a call center, it really helped me out a lot with how to treat people, treating people how
Wow.
I want to be treated. Not only that, with being able to give people a greater level of insight relative to their finances. So that 12 years that I worked for the bank, I wouldn't change anything.
Wow.
Mm.
Absolutely. That's great. And that's great that you're able to leverage that experience and that knowledge you got from working in the bank to serving your clients. And we see how passionate you are about serving
Yes.
your clients, and you really approach your business and real estate as a calling. And we
Mhm.
see the heart and the passion that you put into serving your clients, and kind of the victory when you hand them the keys and things like
Mhm.
that. But talk a little bit about, what compelled you to make that transition to
Yes.
wanting to serve in the real estate industry as a professional?
Well, a couple of different things, but I think it all kind of goes back to the same thing. Once again, I grew up in sort of a single parent household. My mother, my brother, and I. My mother did end up getting married later on in life, but for the most part, I was raised by my mother only. Just during that time, I could see, she really never let us see it too much. But as I got older, I could really tell how much of a strain it was on my
Mhm.
mother to raise 2 boys and that sort of thing, and having to have multiple jobs to make ends meet and that sort of thing. So I knew at that point I didn't want to have that same struggle. And I also wanted to give my children more of a head start.
Mhm.
So with that being said, that was definitely a huge piece to the puzzle. To go along with that, I'm really a first generation homeowner. No one ever owned anything as it relates to
Wow.
property. No
Mm.
one had anything to pass on
Mhm.
relative to real estate. And I wanted to help others that come from similar backgrounds not be in that same situation. So that's why I started, and I've been pushing that ever since. If you go out and check me out on Facebook, you'll notice my Ownership is Everything campaign,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Yes.
we use that to bring awareness to the importance of not only home ownership, business ownership, and just having something to pass on to your heirs. I didn't have a head start, but my kids will.
I
Wow. Now
love it.
that's powerful.
That sends chills. I'm
That,
telling you,
mm,
it's chills up my spine because that's so amazing. And I think that's what this industry is all about.
absolutely.
It's the generational wealth and the legacy building that is just so important. And we definitely see that in everything you're doing. I
Yes.
mean, we're just excited to be in partnership with you. Now let's speak to those people who are agents. So you started off dual career, and
Mhm.
then 2 years later, you would go to doing this full time as your full time venture. At what point did you know it was time to go from dual career to full time?
Well, I was running myself crazy.
No, that's right.
So, but what really happened was that I started to have more of a workload with as a realtor than I could deal with and still perform at excellence at my 9 to 5 job.
Mhm.
Of course, I knew where my passion was. My passion was in real estate. My passion and my calling as it relates to helping people achieve their goals and create generational wealth. I knew that was a passion, that was something I could attach to. It didn't even feel like work.
Mm.
So I was so driven in that space. I was so driven in that space that I couldn't perform on my job. And at that point, I knew that I wouldn't be there much longer.
Mm. I love that.
Wow, I love that. I love that.
I love that. And I think there are many agents who are dual career that are asking the same question: at what point will I know? So is your advice that they'll know? They'll just know?
I don't think you'll really. I really don't think there's a right time. People ask me, is there a right time all the time?
Mhm.
And I really don't think there's a right time, because there's always going to be something in your spirit that's going to try to pull you back from jumping out and making that leap of faith. There's never going to be a perfect time to go full time. But I think if you can attach a passion toward what your goal is, and you actually have a vision and a plan, and not to mention, you want to talk with if you have a spouse or significant other, you want to make
Right.
sure that they're on the same page with you, and you guys have a plan, you guys work together, push toward that. I think if everything's in place, then you just got to kind of do it. You're never going to feel like you're ready to do it. You're never going to feel like you're ready to do it. So my advice is come up with a plan. Once again, connect with your spouse or significant other. Make sure that you have at least some sort of reserves and that sort of thing. And
Right.
you got to have passion attached toward this business. If it's all about a check, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I was
Absolutely.
so far removed from the thought process of collecting a check that, once again, as I mentioned earlier, it just, getting a check was extra. It didn't feel like work. I was attached to that vision of making people's lives better, serving the community, and helping people once again achieve generational wealth. That's my passion. I think you have to find yours and attach your passion to that's motivation, and it'll work.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll tell you what, that is very sound advice, and I hope that especially the agents and brokers who are listening to us, hold on to that and employ what you just talked about. Not just being about the money, but come from a place of passion and of service. That's something that's bigger than us. And we've seen that. I mean, you're just not talking the talk, but you're walking the walk. I mean, since you've been with eXp Realty and we met you and came on board, I mean, we've seen nothing but success after success. Seems like every week you got something under contract or going to a closing or a listing coming on. And I mean, it's just getting, hotter for you. So talk a little bit about, your transition to eXp Realty, as far as, what compelled you to come on board with eXp Realty, and how has eXp Realty, and then the people, the fellow agents that you're working with, how the culture of eXp Realty and the agents have helped to propel your business to the next level?
eXp has been somewhat of a game changer. I love it here. I started with a smaller brokerage, in which is completely fine for those out there who are just starting out. I was really close with the broker. It was really only a few agents, and I really got a great start there. I learned a lot about the business there. But at a certain point, when I realized it was time to go to the next level, and I wanted to have more exposure to people who were in a place that I aspire to be. Also, I wanted the opportunity to be able to connect with agents in my marketplace in a way that we are more of partners, as opposed to competition with each other. So that's just one of the things that I love about eXp Realty, just the camaraderie, especially with you guys, and us all being able to come together and collaborate and share best practices. and it feels like family. It doesn't feel like competitors. So eXp's been great especially with considering that we're completely virtual. When the pandemic hit, I didn't miss a beat. I was still going to weekly trainings. I was still doing what needed to be done. Wow. And it wasn't a life-changing situation like it's been for so many other people. We're used to this way of life, so we're flowing. And I think that's put me in a position to kind of be, it's out of sight, out of mind, in a sense, as it relates to what's going on in our world. Of course, we have to be conscious of what's going on. It's very important to be safe with COVID-19 and the pandemic and that sort of thing. But I haven't had to be as focused on that in itself as it relates to my job, because I've been flowing this way the entire time.
Outstanding.
That's really powerful.
Yes.
And I could tell that you've definitely taken advantage of the tools
right.
that eXp offers. And absolutely, we love the collaboration and the camaraderie. And we follow you on Facebook and social media because you inspire us. I mean, you are a video expert.
Absolutely.
A video marketing expert. And you just do so much. So tell me, as we prepare to close out, this has been absolutely wonderful.
Yes, I love it.
But how do you get your clients? I mean, you seem to have something going into contract every other day. And on the day that something's not under contract, you're closing something. So it's like every day of the week almost. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like you have something to post that's exciting that you're doing for your clients. Where do you get your clients? How do your clients find you?
Well, first off, I just want to give glory to God because given like a certain level of wisdom and there's been a certain level of integrity that I've kind of been groomed to have, and I think that's a huge part of why a lot of people cling to me. I'm always gonna be completely honest, as I mentioned earlier. Like it's not about a check for me. It's about helping people achieve life-changing goals and that sort of thing. So I think a lot of people cling to me just because of the integrity piece. I meet people where they are, never speaking above anyone. I've dealt with every situation. No price range is too low for me to work with a customer on, whatever the case may be. I treat everyone the same. And I try to do my best to be visible and to give as much free guidance as possible. I try my best to jump on Facebook and give insight relative to anything that I think may be helpful to people. Always keep my door wide open to questions or to whatever I can do to help. Just coming from a position of wanting to help. It has really been huge for me with growing my business. Just being myself.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic.
So that's what I would tell other agents, agents that are growing and starting out. Just be yourself. Come from a position of wanting to help. I think oftentimes when people look at certain real estate agents or real estate agents look at other real estate agents, they, see the shiny, even with the videos, you see shiny cars now and high heel shoes and all that sort of stuff, when it honestly is really not about that stuff. And it may appear that way, but it's not that way at all. We jumped out and we were on a mission, and we still are on a mission to do whatever we can do to service people. So if that includes getting out and cutting my client's lawn so we can get it ready for the market, or me getting on a ladder to clean the gutters so that we can get it on the market, or me having to do whatever it takes on the buyer side to get my client a contract. If I got to jump up and leave my house because a house just hit the market for my buyer at 7:30 in the evening, and I know I need to get there to get that offer in for him, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go above and beyond. And that's what it's all about. So I would tell other agents, do what you need to do for your clients. Do what you can do to go above and beyond. That'll set you apart. It's not about the glitz and the glamour and these shiny cars and the high heel shoes. It's about you being there, available, and willing to go above and beyond for your folks. If you're doing that, you'll grow.
Wow, I love that. Those are some powerful nuggets.
Powerful.
And I tell you, you definitely want to listen to this again and write that down, because note takers are money makers. And so there's a lot of notes to take based on just the last little bit that Dantrail shared. That was powerful. I love it. And I see, and we see why you're having so much success, because you're providing what's called that wow service. And that wow stands for way over what people expect. Having climbing to clean the gutters if you have to. You know what I mean? And so, and that's why you have raving fans. That's why you have people referring you. When I think of Richmond, I think of Dantrail White.
Dantrail White. He's running Richmond.
He's running Richmond. So speaking of that, talk a little bit about some of the markets. I know you have Richmond City. You have outside Petersburg, different things. So maybe Chesterfield. So talk about Midlothian, Henrico. So talk about, share with the audience the area of that you serve there in the Richmond market.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. I do what needs to be done. Definitely covering here in Richmond, the Hopewell, Petersburg, Tri-Cities area, Chester and Chesterfield, Midlothian. I'm all over the place. So I try not to limit myself whatsoever. I'm covering the entire Metro Richmond and Tri-Cities area. If you need me, I'm there.
That's powerful for those of you who are in those areas and you're looking for a rock star agent. Well, here he is, Dantrail White. And also for us realtors, it's always good to know good agents, because we're always referring people back and forth. So if you know someone who's moving to that Richmond metropolitan area, those Tri-Cities and Tri-Counties, here we have Dantrail White. So thank you, Dantrail. It's really been a pleasure talking to you today. And I know I've gleaned a lot from you.
Absolutely.
And I just know that the best is yet to come. I'm very excited about it.
Thanks a lot. And I just want to say that it means a lot to me to have people of your stature think so highly of myself. And once again, just kind of embrace me and that kind of thing. I think that helps me a lot. Once again, when I came to eXp, it was about looking for partnership, some people that I can collaborate with and just be transparent with and the whole nine. And I've been getting that 100%. So I appreciate y'all embracing me. I appreciate y'all having me on a series here today. And once again, I'm so thankful that you guys think so highly of me. It means a lot.
Wow, we appreciate the kind words, but we thank you again. This has been just awesome, just talking with you, learning more about you. And of course, we see day to day what you're doing, but I know the best is yet to come for you and for the legacies that you're going to build for future home buyers and sellers there in your market. And, the sky's the limit. So again, thank you, Dantrail, for being our guest. To our audience again, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, Business Empowerment Series by HCG and Associates. Watch this edition again, catch our future editions, take a look at our past editions, and again, we look forward to spending time with you in the future. Okay, thank you, Dantrail.
Thank you so much.
All right, go out there and build more legacies. All right, take care.